Oh, yeah, this part. The first thing I see when I come to is Yukun fighting a giant monster. The creature is made up of countless shadows, moving as a giant whole. It's wreathed in flames, intense enough to scorch the entire world. That's what I'd call the end of the world.
Oh man. Going up against a monster like that's gonna be impossible. Even for Yukun.
The situation looks bleak, but on closer look, Yukun doesn't look like he's losing. In fact, he's positively overflowing with energy, though it's beyond me where it's coming from. Could that be what all those bonds and friends stuff is about? But either way, he's dealing with that power to surpass the realm of man. He's injured it, but without a way to deal a definitive end blow, the fight's at a stalemate.
Impossible! What power is this? How can one human's power alone be enough to best me?
Kino Kagutsuchi. That's what holds you back. The power I wield. The power we wield. It will never succumb to someone like you!
Silence, pest! I will not lose! I am stronger than anything!
The monster lets out an immense roar and raises its humongous arm, aiming to destroy the ground Yukun is standing on. The tower isn't going to take much more abuse. With all this shaking, not even a Persona user could survive a fall from here. He seriously is a pain in the ass.
Persona!
I quickly summon my persona, Magutsu Izunami, and attack the monster from behind while he's busy with Yukun. Rend it, Magatsu Izanagi. My persona's blade, covered in blackish red flames, strikes the monster's arm and knocks it away.
Adachi-san? What are you doing? I set everything up perfect for you, and you still didn't finish it off before I woke up.
Still, at this rate there's no telling if he'll have the stamina to keep going. The monster might even make a comeback. But if I keep it distracted, there might be an opening to finish it off. Fine. I'll play along a little.
I can't let you take all the glory. Stay back and rest a while. You'll need to save your strength.
I know Yukun can be a space case sometimes, but it looks like even he understands what I'm getting at. Not bad, kid. I allow myself a small smirk as I look up the giant's body, hanging down from the sky. The monster glares directly at me, its murderous intent piercing me like a giblet.
Hey, how's it going? According to Shokun, the power left in me doesn't sit well with you, huh?
You imbecile! How dare you intrude? I have the nerve to stand before me!
Oh dear, is there going to be like a separate fight that Adachi has with it? So I really don't want to fight this thing again. Not at all. The giant's body, its massive arms, and that stern jaw, flames spewing along the entire length of it. Damn, that's scary. Yukun's gotta be a grade A moron to try and take this thing on. I don't think there's anything in the world I want to protect strong enough to face this thing. But, you know, being this deep in shit is kind of exciting. Fine, I'll take a stand. Not for anyone else. I stand for myself. I'm trembling with exhilaration building up in my heart. And the fear of what I'm about to do, I just can't hold back a sardonic grin as I shout out at the face from the sky.
Come at me. I'll play with ya.
Man, why not fight this thing as Adachi? This is a bad idea. Dang it. Dang it. Yeah, this is difficult. Oh, come on! I totally avoided that. Okay, back. Frickin' hell. I actually thought I was going to beat it that time, because I knocked it out of several things. No, stop jumping, sir. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's over. Stop using that. Yeah, that's too bad. Is that what you have to say? Ah! God dang it. I don't know how he does that. He doesn't do it consistently. Son of a tube. That was dumb.
How about this? Why? This can't be.
I thought he was doing that, but I couldn't really see. Wow. That was lame as anything, but you know what? Oh, Adachi, don't even. You did like no work. You were just like, go, go, go! My body is so hot. I feel like I'm burning up. Wait, is this Adachi or Kanji? Because I can totally imagine, my body is so hot. Just breathing hurts my worn-out throat. With the relentless blaze scorching me, I'm half expecting to collapse into a pile of ash at any moment.
I guess this is the best I can do with my powers.
I was thinking that maybe I could finish him off, but I'm just too exhausted. It's all I can do to stand on my own 2 feet.
Such impudence from insignificant pests!
Even worse, it looks like my battle was nothing. Though I wounded it, the monster roars and stiffens up.
Adachi-san!
From a fair bit away, Yukon is watching me with a look of surprise and bewilderment. It's not the same look he had last year when he confronted me on the TV. There's no hostility in his face, no caution in his eyes. I see nothing but expression of concern for me. It's annoying.
Hey, what are you spacing out for? I don't have time to waste either. So let's hurry up and put it into this.
Right.
Alright, now's our chance. I give Yukon the sign, and he answers with a nod. A power I've never felt before begins boiling up from the depths of my body. The 2 Izanagis, one dark, one light, resonate. Our powers merge together and become one giant force inside the 2 of us. I take that strength, revel in it for just a moment, and we unleash all that at Haga no Kakatsuchi.
Izanagi!
Nagatsu Izanagi!
Best frame in the game right there. That's awesome. We were both given the same power, but his evolved down a different path than mine had. I can tell that it's not only grown stronger since the last time I saw him, and while that power pulls at me, I can feel it squeezing me. Cry? Dry. Stupid whiteness in the middle of the text. Torn to power becomes a giant sword that pierces Hino Kagutsuchi, and his body shatters into pieces.
It's over, Hino Kagutsuchi. Time for a monster like you to head on home.
Impossible! How could I fall to this drudgery of fans?
As it screams its death cry, the monster's body crumbles into bits. The flame coating its body flares up one last time.
Serves you right.
Now, it's over. The tension that had kept me wound so tightly reaches its breaking point and snaps. I can only briefly see the floor rushing towards me as I collapse to the ground, and then everything is blackness. Alright. That was, oh my goodness, I can't believe how fail the fight with that guy was. I figured that would be a really effective move, but oh my god, I'm just like derp, 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 derp. Wonder how well that works in actual, like, PvP. When I come to, I'm lying face down that part of the TV world where those old TV sets are stacked around like blocks. I don't remember how I got here after fighting the monster. But one thing's for sure, we annihilated that monster from the world, and there wasn't a single victim created by this entire incident. As long as that's a fact, I don't care about the rest. I fulfilled my objective. I managed to sit up and look around. Sho is lying on his back on the floor, and Yukun is looking at me as if he wants to say something.
Adachi-san.
Man, what a pain. I had no intentions of seeing you guys ever again, you know?
I finally figured out why you came here, Adachi-san.
That kid talks like he knows me. Don't you go making a relieved face like that. I purposely ignore him and walk over to Sho. I slap him on the cheek.
You took a pretty bad beating, too.
Sho opens his eyes slightly and groans in pain. Looks like he's awake, but he doesn't have the energy to move. The madness and intense murderous intent are both gone. All he does is breathe. Huh? Well, looking at him like that, he's no different from your average kid. I remember when I was the same condition as him. He reminds me of myself. Just a little.
That's why I told you that power can't be controlled.
Is it all over?
I don't think it's all over yet. Those nosy kids pushed your reset button before it was too late.
When I look over at Yukun, his eyes go round in surprise. Oh, come on, you didn't know it? No wonder he's enjoying his youth so much. He doesn't realize all the important things going on around him. Idiot.
Well, that's fine with me. A kid should enjoy doing what he wants. Just don't drag me into it. But now's the only time you get to do that, you know? Once you go out into the real world, there's really nothing great about it.
Sho's like me, a man consumed by power. But he's still got plenty of chances to start over. He'll find that out, whether he likes it or not. The connections between people are also chains. They've brought me nothing but trouble. So I can understand why Sho would want to push that crap as far away from himself as possible. But troublesome thing is once you start making connections with other people, they start winding their way around you before you notice it. Even when you're suffering from weakness and pain, they just don't hold back. But depending on how you handle it, it can create possibilities for you. In other words, whether you make use of connections or let them go to waste is all up to you. Plus,
In other words, you can't just run and hide in this world. It doesn't let you off the hook that easily. Well then, it's about time I head back. If your friends show up, they'll only start yapping about some annoying drivel again.
Adachi-san, you're going back, right?
What's that supposed to mean? Did you think I'd run away like in some Hollywood drama?
No, that's not what I meant.
I just want to do my time quietly. I really don't want to get wrapped up in something like this ever again.
I spit that at him as I stuck my head into one of the TVs stacked up here. As I'm about to shove myself the waist way in, I hear a voice.
Please, wait!
Desperation in Yukun's voice startles me. My heart skips a beat. I can't help but pull myself back out. Being caught off guard like this surprises me, but like hell I'm gonna let him know that. I decide to play things off as normally as I can.
Don't yell like that. You startled me. So, you still have business with me?
Ojima-san said, I'll go see you once things have been settled.
Oh, give me a break. If Ojima-san shows up, I'll get yelled at even in lockup.
I can already see it in my mind, and I make a face. Seeing that, Yukun laughs. The punk.
Maybe so. Adachi-san, good luck.
You called me back just to say that? Good luck? My luck is none of your business. Seriously, he's still the same annoying brat I knew from before.
Dumbass.
I load all the venom I can muster into throwing that word in Yukun's way. I don't know what face he makes when he heard it. I've already stuck my head back into the TV, saying my farewells to this world for good. I'm going back to follow my own path. This time, I'm going to make sure I won't be seeing them again. I slowly close my eyes to that strangely pleasant feeling of familiar laziness. no to be continued that time. Okay.
The prosecution's been settled.
It's been a few months since that P4 climax bullshit. The prosecution's case finally rested in the middle of summer, and I was transferred to the detention center. Going to court means that there's the possibility that I'll get the maximum penalty under the law. But instead of worrying about that, I'm more relieved that all those troublesome days are finally over.
Man, my road until now seemed long and short at the same time.
Last year, I lost at my own game. Having to put up with this shitty world, one day I was suddenly given a special power. That's when the game started. I had lousy human relationships, a boring job, was part of a corrupt society. If I could destroy it all, I could remake the world in the way I wanted. I have to admit, I enjoyed the game, as if I was trying to fill my own empty heart. Even the pressure of the unknown creeping up on me gave me the ultimate thrill. But eventually, I lost to the brats in the investigation team, and I was arrested as the serial killer who had terrorized Inaba. Game over. After it was all over, the only thing I had left were my experiences and my rules. All games have rules, of course. Once I had caught, I decided I'd follow the rules of this reality, to atone for my sins, and I confessed everything to the police. And yet, if some mysterious corpse who died of unknown causes was found hanging somewhere, they declared the case open again, and started suspecting that the true killer was still on the loose. If that happened, it would mess up the rules I'd set for myself. I'm not going to stand for that. That's all. Because of the recent commotion, and by how I was mysteriously gravely injured while in custody, it meant that my incarceration is going to be even longer while they try and figure out what happened. Those ladies who keep coming for psych evaluations are just about tearing up their hair out, too. I keep telling them that I'm going to follow the rules of this world, so they should take things a little easier on me, right? Seriously, the people in charge of this are so hard-headed that this is a pain in the ass.
Then again, it doesn't change the fact that I'm bored. I wonder if the way things were before would have been less dull.
I throw myself into the moldy-smelling tatami mat in my cell and yawn loudly. Just as I'm drifting off into the escape of sleep, I hear footsteps. Poor dog. Do they just wait for him about to fall asleep before they come to him? Every single time.
Hey, you have a visitor.
What? Must be Dojima-san.
I roll my eyes and groan inwardly. Just as Yukun said, the instant my indictment was completed, I got a letter from Dojima-san saying that he'd be coming to see me. What timing! Dojima-san was waiting for me to be moved to the main detention center, and I feel like he's caught me.
Why would he want to see me after all this? He really is nosy.
This is so awkward. I thought I'd cut any ties between me and Dojima-san the moment I was arrested.
Well, you gonna see him or not?
This is why I hate him.
Stand up without a word to the guard. Refusing wouldn't do any good. I, of all people, know how persistent he can be. I squinted the heart light outside the door, where Dojima-san was waiting for me.
Hey. Have you fattened up a bit since the last time I saw you?
Oh yeah, prison food, you know.
Well, life in lockup is much easier than your grueling training.
Did I really just hear you say that?
Dojima-san laughs at my taunt. I can't stop myself from smiling either, and I look down quietly so that he doesn't notice. I threw our connection away, but it came back. I cut it, but it wouldn't stay cut. The bonds between people really are troublesome. And yet, somewhere inside me I can't help but feel a little relieved at the way things turned out. I guess having a bond like this isn't so bad. I think that to myself, but I accidentally murmured out loud too. The sound slipping away would be lost among the calls of the cicadas outside the window. Well, that was really nice. I greatly enjoyed that. I've always said that the best games, movies, books, whatever, root everything down in actual logic. You know, some of the I made a video on the best and the worst bosses, and the consistent thing was that the best bosses that you ever ran into in a game were the ones that had very logical, very understandable, horrific but understandable reasons for what they did. You know, a boss that just is evil and is out to kill people because he's an asshole is not a frightening boss. He's kind of a drab and boring boss, to be honest. You know, Bowser and Ganon will never be all that interesting of characters outside of Ocarina of Time, because they're just, you know, Ganon wants the Triforce because so he can be all powerful and make life miserable for other people. And other than Ocarina of Time, he was never given any backstory. You never have any idea why he's like that. Bowser's the same way. He's a big turtle that steals things. So, really, really, really appreciate that they give Adachi, you know, kind of explore his backstory, kind of explore what makes him tick. He's not a nice person, and he never will be. But he's a person. He has things he cares about. He has things that drive him. You know, he's complete. And he's becoming more complete as the series goes on. I really, really appreciate that about him. I have to say the Persona series as a whole is very good at that. You know, it's always had some of the most interesting bosses. I think Nyx was fantastic because it's a boss. You know, Nyx is not even a boss that is opposed to you. Nyx doesn't truly dislike you. In fact, she's trying to do what mankind wants. The entire series have always been very good about that in bosses, and they've really, really, really... Wait, booby trap? What is that? Weird. There's one of your favorite frames, you jerk. I saw that, Loge. I saw there was an extra credit episode of the difference between storyline bosses, or like narrative bosses, and mechanics bosses, and it's very crucial to this. A narrative story has to do both. You have to have a boss that's mechanically satisfying. You have to have a boss that is something that really, really brings all of your skills to bear, and, you know, really epitomizes the game in its combat mechanics. And other games, like adventure games or fighting games, can really have a boss that is only like that. However, a hard storyline, a very narrative game, has to have a boss that's also narratively satisfying. A boss that really kind of fleshes out the world and acts as an antithesis to your character. And Adachi does a really good job of that. You know, and I like how in the end of his story, as he goes back, he's starting to actually accept Yu's reality. He's starting to accept the importance of personal connection, where he'd always rejected them before. Yeah, I mentioned this in the other video. The one thing I dislike about that is, or like about this game, is that both times I fought the same boss at the end, and the boss breaks all of the fighting game conventions and mechanics without really telling you that. So the way you fight him is to play the game completely differently than you can anywhere else. You know, no other character can really be beaten as cheesily as I beat the boss. And at the same time, the things that work against other characters don't work against the boss. He doesn't get stunned. You can't combo him. So that's frustrating. The vast majority of bosses in fighting games are really good. You know, in almost every Street Fighter, there's some sort of a ultimate Akuma that shows up at the end. And it's just fast and, you know, powerful and really, really, really makes you struggle to beat him. This one just, it didn't quite fit the game. It wasn't a final execution of all of your mechanical abilities. It was instead, for lack of a better term, a execution of nothing. You know, it was you play a completely different type of game, and